leg kick was there all day. The first one that was going to be a move.
Yeah, I just making sure I didn't telegraph it. I knew that my left inside leg kick was faster than his, the overhand or the uppercut. So even if he saw it coming, if he wanted to try to beat me, the only way to beat me was a straight right hand. Boy, doesn't throw a straight right hand. He does a couple things really freaking well. You know what I mean? The overhand right, his uppercut, his cage work with the takedown that he got in the last 15 seconds. But Roy's like a black belt level with those moves, but he doesn't do anything else. He hasn't adapted his game. I mean, I have a bigger toolbox, and the only thing that I knew that was going to be an issue with it was, a lot of times some of the more martial arts oriented moves, Thai boxing, Kimbo, the inside leg kicks, are not as entertaining to the fans that are not educated to the sport. They want to see the haymaker land. They want to see two guys boxing, socking robots. So that's why I precipitated the fight when I first signed it, knowing that, like, hey, fighting a lot like Mirko Krokop without giving away the game plan was really the game plan to beat Roy. Move to your left, makes it to where the angle of the right hand is too hard to hit. And then once I settle, it's loading my straight left, right uppercut, straight left, right jab. Carl Prince and I, with this main combination, I actually threw less hands than I wanted to. It was going to be a lot more lefts, rights, reverse, almost kind of like throwing a 1-2 from an orthodox position, but standing southpaw. But he never adapted to I thought for sure he would adapt quicker to the inside leg kick. I knew the first round I'd beat him up, but I'm like, in the second round he's going to grab it for a single. You know what I mean? He's going to take it, drop down onto it real hard, and then I have to fight him off. And he never once did it. In fact, actually, our father was calling for what we call the pitch, but he called it the over. And all I heard was go over the top. And he meant for me to throw the inside left kick and then come down with a right hard shot, chopping elbow. But to my own, I was overly cautious about his single. I'm like, okay, after 15 minutes of this shit, he's going to grab my leg eventually, right? That's Roy for you.
On the broadcast, Chef Sonny made some comments, I don't know if you heard them, that he said Francis Ngannou injured Roy Nelson's leg in training, and there were rumors out there, and that Roy was concerned that they would get out. Is there any comment that you have on that? Did you hear anything about that before the fight?
Well, if it was injured and he took that many leg kicks, holy cow, man, that guy wins the Iron Leg Award. You hear all kinds of things in camps, back and forth, and someone told me that, but I was like, I'm not falling for that. And then especially when they said it was his right leg, I think is what I heard was injured. So then I was like, well, that's not going to help me out. I'm a southpaw. How am I going to get to his right leg? There is a kick that I can do that does that. If you watch our first fight, it's a running roundhouse. When you step forward with the leg, you're going to kick. Then you step forward with your pivot leg, and then you chop across. It's a very dangerous kick to throw. Rob Kaman was good at it. Andy Look was good at it. But you put yourself right in line with that right hand. So to be honest with you, I thought that was very strategic on their part to convince me to try to kick his right leg to line me up for the right hand. So I was like, it's too hard of a shot to hit. And if I had thought that his leg was really injured, I probably would have wrestled him more. Because a one head inside single, pick him up on the leg and dance him around a little bit, that would have tested it out. As you can see, I never once went for it. I chopped out the left leg because that's his lead leg, and that's, as you're throwing power punches, you have to be able to transfer your energy from the back to the front. And that's just me breaking down systematically what structure it takes to throw a punch. Well, if I take one of those components out, the back component's too far away and it's dangerous to go for it. The lead component was the easiest.
Frank, you got cornered by your daughter the second time. It's the first time you won in front of her as a corner woman, I should say. That's a moment that very few people will ever have as a father. What does that mean to you?
Let's go, Frank.
I think I stopped fighting a long time ago for myself. I have enough shiny things to post on the wall, and there's pictures, and there's enough things to say about me that honestly my ego has been satisfied. but being an example to my children, trying to show them the way to be and how to deal with adversity, how to handle being on the 4-fight losing streak, being told you're going to be cut afterwards, and maybe change their lifestyle financially. I just want to try to be an example to them, not for them to attain, but them to go over the top of. Because my kids are better than I am. They really are. A lot of parents might say that, but I know that my kids are. I think I said this in my last fight. I really thought that I was something special in life. I realize I'm just a footnote in their story, honestly.
Frank, first congratulations on the win. If I'm sounding cruel, I don't mean to. This is a brutal sport. You see, it's like boxing. People die in this sport. People get seriously hurt. You've seen what's been going on. I'm guessing the past couple months, guys taking beatings, guys in boxing die. You have money. You're still married. You're ahead of the game. You have your health. You have your kids. Why do this? I mean, why not just retire from the sunset, do a TV show, do acting, anything that doesn't involve getting every day, 6 days a week, pushing yourself, getting beaten up, going to doctors, getting your back there or any of the joint realigned, and going, all right, let's do a fight 15 minutes with the guy who wants to take my head off. What makes you keep doing this over and over and over again?
The other day, try not to cry. Wow. The other day, my wife told me she walked into my son's room, cage, and she caught him watching old fights of mine. That's why I fight still. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of fathers want their sons and daughters to look up to them, admire them. I'm in a position where I can control that, My days have come to an end where I don't get to do this anymore. My kids don't get to be in my corner. They don't get to see me get up and train and watch me in pain and see how I deal with it. It'll be their day, and so I'm just trying to prolong that as long as possible. I get to be my kid's hero. Why the hell would I ever give that up?
I mean, I guess, do you worry that there'll come a day where this all, you have to pay the piper all of a sudden, maybe head injuries, neurological. We know more about now than we did 15 years ago. Do you worry that all this toll might take effect, and all next thing you know is you're like an NFL player?
The one reason why I don't terribly worry about it is our sport doesn't have a standing 8 count. I really feel that the more I've learned about concussions, all the information out there, it's the second concussion that really harms you. I'm pretty smart about how I train now. If I do take a bad shot, I don't take any more head shots for the next couple weeks. I don't even put myself in a position to take one. I think you're seeing deaths in boxing because a guy gets a concussion, he drops down, he has a concussion, he gets back up and he's going to fight. Tonight I took some shots, but none of them were concussions. Never even once got rocked to go to my knee. In fights that happens, typically the fight's over with in our sport. So as far as the sports that deal with head trauma are concerned, I honestly believe that MMA is one of the safest. Compared to boxing, I think it's number 2, to be honest with you, just because of the lack of gloves. More, hell, if they put MMA back to being gloveless, like, the first days, I'm in, man. I'm signing up till I'm 80. That's why I don't particularly worry about it. But do I have my body beat up? Absolutely. I already booked a trip November 10th. My wife and I, with Jose Canseco, Austin Aries, the wrestler, we're all going down to Colombia to go to the bioaccelerator so I can do my whole body with stem cells. If you see what I look like when I get up in the morning, it's pretty ugly. If anybody wants to rob my house when the sun's up, if I'm like a vampire, you got it, dude. There ain't nothing I can do. You'll hear me coming from a mile away, and it's going to take 2 days to get there.
Frank, you said you don't fight for the shiny things anymore, but you just got to win. How far are you away from a title shot or being back in the title picture?
The heavyweight division, you're always 2 or 3 wins away from a shot. It depends on the quality opponent that I have coming up next. I think staying in shape is usually getting out of shape, so I already have my eyes set on the December card. I'm hoping that Quentin, I love you, brother, but I hope you get hurt. I hope that they need a replacement for Fedor's opponent, and I can be that guy. So.
Last question. If it's not Fedor, if it's somebody else that, heavyweight division, a lot of big names, somebody else you'd be interested in?
Chet Congo's done really well since the last time I beat him. I'm sure he would like to, erase that loss. That, he's face down, passed out on the carpet, on the canvas. But he's done extremely well. I mean, that guy, 43 years old, has hit his stride. What is he, 7-win streak? Besides the fiasco that happened in the last fight, Obviously, he probably has a title shot, but if something happens and Bader, decides to defend his light heavyweight belt, and Czech wants to get a payday, vengeance could be his.
Last question. A lot of people before this fight saying Frank doesn't have anymore, he should retire. What do you say to those people now?
Well, I mean, they can see my face. I took shots. I'm still tough, still resilient, and I still kept my composure. I fought a guy who's still, come on, guys. Does anybody think you could take a right hand from Roy, full blast, and still stand there? No, the guy still has dynamite in that right hand. He caught me just a few times, and I'm sitting there sniffling blood all night, So I think that, that's hard. People don't realize, okay, the mindset of going in there and fighting somebody that if I make one mistake with, I'm on a highlight reel. That's why, and he's hard to submit. There was one point I kicked his legs out. I had him in a front headlock position. You didn't even see me attempt a guillotine. We've trained too much together. I know how hard he is to submit. I know how good his base is. Hell, he decided to go for a takedown the last, and he got it. The guy is still, heavyweights were just dangerous for a longer period of time than a lot of the weight classes. It might have to do with the weight cut. I don't know. Our bodies aren't as trained neurologically as far as the nervous system goes that some of the other weight classes are. But I think I showcased it. Stuck to a game plan, beat up a guy who was extremely tough and very dangerous.
Congratulations.